be testing out the Colourpop So Jaded palette collab with Kathleen Lights on my eyelids. I took my ideas from that girl Shay. Go ahead and do eye swatches. Although they are not the most professional, I will let you know. But if you want to see what it looks like on an everyday Joe like me, and you want to see if it's worth the hype and the price tag, it is $39, so it is probably one of the more expensive things on the Colourpop website. However, it does come with 30 shades, so it's a little justified. The shades are beautiful, but don't take my word for it. Let's go ahead. So for the first shade of the palette, I'm going to be using my fingers, and that is, oh, I just dropped the brush that I'm going to be using. That shade is Diamond. And I'm going to sweep these all over the lid. I feel like of all the shades, this one is my least favorite. Mostly because it doesn't do much. I don't know what it's supposed to do, but it doesn't do what I think it should do. To me, it's just too light. There's just not enough pigment. That's the shade Diamond. So next, I'll be taking a fluffy packer brush, and I'll be using it for Rose Quartz. Now, I'm not wearing contacts, and my mirror is really far away, so I'm not gonna be getting the most even or round or precise look, but that is the color Rose Quartz. I'm gonna wipe this off and we will try the next two shades until the end for shimmers. But yeah, Diamond obviously does have some glitter fallout. So that's something to not fall out. It sticks, it's glitter. Yeah. So the next shade I'm gonna be using is Ruby. And I think this shade is beautiful. Not only because it's my daughter's name, but because I think it's just such a beautiful jewel toned red. Yeah. Hopefully that's not too sloppy for you. That was Ruby. Now on the opposite side, I'm going to take Royal Jewels. Okay, so that's Royal Jewels. I can say about Royal Jewels, except it's a nice skin tone color for fair complected people, and it does work as like a transition shade. That's off. I just want to mention I don't have a base on. I'm not using this with any kind of base right now because number one, I just can't be bothered, and number two, that's a waste of a lot of base. And so just figure your look is going to be slightly better, right? With a base, you'd think. All right, so the next shade I'm using is Fluorite. This looks gray in the pan, but I think it has some duochrome to it. I'm not entirely certain. I can't see it currently, but I think when I swatched it, it was a very beautiful shade. And then the next one and last one in the row is Moonstone. So that was Moonstone. You can see this has a pink undertone to it, so it's gray pink. It's beautiful. I do love it. And Moonstone is a nice shimmery opalescent almost look to it. I am taking my finger now and and doing all of them. So wetting my finger a little bit to see how impressive it becomes after wet. Now that's a much better, and that's a very pretty shade. It's like, it shows up yellow in the, like a yellow gold, I guess maybe in just a gold in the pan, but it looks much more orange on, and I think it's gorgeous. I'm actually loving it, especially when wet. I will take my Precious with my finger just to show you what it looks like. Now, then take it off. Pearl. I don't know why. I knew the name of it, but I forgot the name of it. Now, Pearl is so creamy and so pearlescent. I mean, I guess Moonstone, side by side comparison, basically Moonstone is more iridescent, where Pearl is that pearlescent pack of, I don't know, but yeah, that's Pearl. Okay, this one is Citrine, and this is a nice, beautiful, it's not quite mustardy, it has more of a green undertone, but it blends out a little bit mustardy, and I like it, it's beautiful. Next shade is Garnet. Now, Garnet is such a deep, beautiful, nice, red. What did I do here? I'm messing up these swatches. Okay, so that is Garnet on the lids. Next is Ametrine, which I believe is one of their sequin shades. There's a lot of fallout in the sequin shades, especially from Colourpop. When you kind of have to pack them on to keep those sequins in there. But I have to say, I hope you can see this, it is gorgeous. It's a very beautiful mauvey shade, like a dark mauve, and it is just very pretty, and it looks great with my green eyes, so that's probably why I love it so much. I think a lot of these shades in this palette look great with green eyes. So shade is Peardo. And I know because of the color, because these are gemstones. And my uncle's wife, my aunt, loves Peardo. That is such a pretty shade. That is such a pretty shade. And it just went on like a dream. All right, the next shade I don't remember is Eurogem. I don't feel like I know it's supposed to tie into the matte shades, but they don't remind me of anything. I mean, like maybe she could have gone with rocks for the matte shades, you know? Okay, so that's Eurogem. And that's a pretty color too, like a peachy, but like Southwest kind of vibe to it. That's what I like, a terracotta or something. Southwest. I mean, like, you know how in the late 90s, early 2000s, maybe it was like mid or early 90s to the end of, just the tail end of the 90s, where everything was Western themed? Western, is that the right? It was like hoppy Indian kind of designs and, you know, like cacti and things like that. It was very much, yeah, I'll just keep going. I'm going to skip the third. So in this row, there are 2 glitter shades, and I'm going to skip them until the end. So I'm going to go in with Tiger's Eye, or Tiger Eye. Not shimmers. I keep calling them shimmers. They're glitter shades. I'm going to skip the glitter. And Tiger's Eye is just another gorgeous, beautiful. I love a green-brown shift. I know that there's a little less green in this. It's more of like a khaki, but there's still just a little bit, and it's just gorgeous. Like, this could be your overall, your all-over lid shade, and it just looks effortless and beautiful. I don't know. That's just me. So then next, I'm going to take Aquamarine, but I'm going to take it on, I'm going to take it and spritz it because I tried it already in the swatches. It did not show up very well. Okay, so now I had thought that this was going to be my absolute favorite shade in the palette because I love cyan, aqua, teal, like light blue-green colors. But the pigmentation is not there on this one. This one and Diamond are like my 2 least favorite. It's just not blue enough. There's just not enough blue pigment into it. It's beautiful, but mind you, I did have to wet my fingers, well, wet the shadow to get it to even look like this. So yeah, it's just not that great. But if that's the worst takeaway from the palette, I think we're still pretty good. So Geodude, which would pair very nicely with Tiger's Eye, like a nice base for Tiger's Eye, and then deep in the outer corner, and then pop Tiger's Eye in the center. That would be really nice. And this also gives me that Western vibe. You can see both of them are very pigmented. They look very good. Pigmentation is definitely there. When I was first swatching the mattes on my fingers, yeah, they're chunky. I don't know if that's normal or not, but they're chunky. They're chunky. But you know, maybe they need to be chunky to go on so smoothly and so pigmentedly. So I'm giving them a little leeway there. Not gonna lie, right now, guys, I wish I had more eyes. Because these are looking a little rough. Okay, next one is Stoned, and the one following that is Jasper. Now I used Jasper recently for a video, and I know that that one goes on very nicely. Stoned is kind of, I don't know if it's my eye texture right now. It's probably my eye texture actually, because it's like sticking in certain spots but then not blending in other spots. So that's Stoned, a nice dark gray. And then we'll go with Jasper, which is a beautiful reddy brown. This is very nice for green eyes. And I think that's why I was able to pull off my yellow look, because of this shade. Well, I didn't use it, but yeah, it still translated. So I know I'm splotchy. I think that's partially I'm using my fingers and partially my skin is now raw. So yeah, but oh, I got some on my nose. But yeah, it's a pretty shade. Okay, next one. Next two shades are turquoise and onyx. So turquoise is pretty pigmented. It's a very nice bright blue, but my issue is when you blend it out, it blends almost to nothing, I feel like. Well, maybe that was just, I'll have to use a look with it to see. I don't like how it blends, but we'll see, we'll see. It might just be me. I mean, it's most definitely me, but you know. With a primer, it might be good, or with NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil. Okay, so Onyx is the next shade. And that's a pretty black sparkle. Yeah, I like it. It's pigmented. That's nice. It'll do. I accept. Why do I keep closing the cap on this thing? It doesn't make any sense. I know I'm gonna need more, right? I've got 5 more to do. And yet I keep closing the cap on my eye makeup remover. All right, next shade is Emerald. Oh, yes. This color is so beautiful. Okay, so that's Emerald. And then the next is Jade. Now, I was reading on the comments, people hating on Jade because they've never seen Jade this color. When they think of Jade, they think of like that light turquoisey color. But Jade can come in this shade too, and I think it's gorgeous. It doesn't quite, I mean, here's the thing, I have green eyes, so the green shades don't always necessarily work for me, but they're both beautiful colors, and they can both be used in a large number of ways that will work for me. The Emerald works a little bit better, I think, because it has the blue tones in it, and my eye is like half green and half blue most of the time. I think it's now permanent. For a while, it would just show up in certain pictures, but now I think it's mostly, that's just the way it is. Some things will never change. That's just the way it is. Oh yeah. Or maybe it says all right. Yeah. Okay. So, are we still recording? Yes, we are. Okay. So the next two shades are Alexandrite and Smoky Quartz. Now I think, I don't know, maybe I would have to use it right. I think Alexandrite might be my third least favorite shade in the palette just because it looks like it would be beautiful and the bones to it are beautiful. But it just doesn't wow. I don't know. But maybe compared to Amethyst, that would be the issue. Actually, you know what? Instead of doing smoky quartz, I'm going to compare this to the amethyst, since amethyst was coming up next. Now, amethyst is a creamier shade, a more vibrant shade, and yes, it does have a different feel than the alexandrite, but I just don't think you need both of them if you're going to have, if you were going to choose. I mean, there's no reason to have this one that doesn't really do much. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't seem a necessity. So we'll go on to our next pairing. Smoky quartz. Make sure it's dry. Now, here's a little bit of a redundancy too. I feel smoky quartz, obviously pearl and moonstone are very similar in tone. And I think if you were to choose between pearl, if you were to choose two, between the pearl, moonstone, and smoky quartz, you would choose smoky quartz and pearl and leave the moonstone. That one's one of the shades that are just kind of not as impressive. The formula is not as impressive, but this one is beautiful. I do enjoy this one. And then the next one is Sapphire. Which I kind of wish, I mean, I understand it. You've got the other sparkly blue shade, but I wish amethyst was sparkly. It's a beautiful color though. Obviously it looks terrible with my finger. But yeah, I would say it's very pigmented and definitely packs a lot of wow factor. So next we're going to be doing the glitters. This one is Topaz. I'm going to use my base for these. Like I said, I don't have a glitter glue, so this is just gonna have to do for now. My eyes are gonna kill. And this is Opal. Oh. It doesn't swatch like much, but when you apply it, oh my goodness. Both of these glitters are very beautiful, and I'm very happy and excited to have them in my collection. I am not gonna take anything off. I was gonna do a look, but I don't think I'm gonna take anything off. I think I'm gonna put a little liner and a little mascara, fix my eyebrows, touch my makeup back up, and then jump to the end. So that was my swatching, my eye swatching of the So Jaded Kathleen Lights and Colourpop collaboration. Now, what are my thoughts overall on the palette? I think it's very good quality for the price. I think you get a lot of different shades. If you don't have a very large collection, you don't have a lot of those shades, it's a really good addition. I don't have a lot of those shades, so it's very nice to have suddenly this whole door open for me of jewel toned and deeper shades, like brights or colors but deeper. So I think this was a good investment, and I recommend Colourpop in general for your average consumer because they're so affordable, and overall the quality is just amazing. Some things are hit and miss within the palette, but you have so many options, and those colors still work. They just need a little bit of extra loving. So if you like those colors, you might take the time to kind of build them up or whatever. I think some of those shades are my favorite colors of all time, especially with the way they make my eyes look. If you have green eyes or if you have hazel eyes, I think this is I think it would be good for anybody. But I think specifically me, I was like, oh wow, my eyes look really nice in these shades. So I think it was a good investment. I hope you liked this video. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. That way you know when I'm uploading, because I'm a small creator. You're not necessarily going to get that exposure on your dashboard. I'm going to get buried underneath everything else. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day. What I wanted to mention before I go is I did just recently purchase the Mercury Retrograde palette from Huda on the Sephora website. It was on sale for $40 from $65, so I did go ahead and purchase it. It's still a little pricey, I'm not gonna lie, but I wanted to see how it compared. So I'm gonna be doing a review for you probably in the next week. So if you wanna make sure that you catch that, ring that bell.